Hey guys, first regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a heroic heavy bolt rifle build for the heavy class in Space Marine 2 patch 12.2. Now, the heroic heavy bolt rifle is the best heavy bolt rifle in the game currently. Now, unfortunately, the heavy bolt rifle is also the worst weapon on heavy currently, but that being said, a grenade launcher attachment on this variant is actually really good for him and like pretty much any class it's on, mainly because the grenades in Space Marine 2 give you incredible contested health recovery. It's like near instant, on top of having great stagger and great AoE, so pretty good for that, even if it's like a bit weaker because it doesn't get like heavy stance options on the heavy. But that being said, for the perk tree, we do take the perk here Headhunter first. Headshots deal 10% more damage. Moving here into the perk Adamant Hunter, when your health is below 30%, headshots will deal 25% more damage. Now, this perk is actually pretty good on heavy, mainly because heavy has a 30% HP increase on the Fortitude perk, on top of the damage reduction perk here, Conviction, for a 25% health damage reduction on armor break, which means being at below like 30% HP on this class, or being below 30% HP on this class, I should say, is really not that bad at all in this guy, because you are just so damn tanky. You're actually tankier than like a baseline bulwark with these perks attached, so really good for him. Now, for the next perk here, I take Fast Reload. This weapon reloads 10% faster. Moving here to the perk Able Reload. After using a class ability, the equipped weapon instantaneously reloads. This will trigger on every single Iron Halo use in the game, so a great synergy for him. Next perk here is Headhunter, up here into the perk Tactical Precision for 20% more headshot damage, and non-headshot damage decreasing by 10%. Now, you will lose 10% damage on your grenades with this perk active, but 20% headshot damage is still worth it in my opinion, and you can also kind of like circumvent that damage loss on the grenades if you take perks here like Overwhelming Power and Brute Force, that would be doing anyways, so really not too bad. Next perk here is Great Might, down here into increased capacity for more ammo. This will also affect your total grenade capacity, so definitely grab this. And the next perk is Recoupment. Killing a Majora's level or higher enemy with a headshot with this weapon restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds. This perk may not sound that good initially, but when you get into like a range fight with a Devourer and you're trying to like avoid HP loss or any type of chip damage, getting one armor back on a 15-second cooldown every time you kill a Majora's with a headshot is actually pretty damn powerful and really does help out a ton in this game, so definitely pick this up. And the final perks here are Rapid Health for HP healing on 7 enemy kills in rapid succession, which is really easy to pull off on a grenade launcher. Crack and Penetrator rounds is like not super good on this, or excuse me, Perpetual Penetration. And the final perk is Divine Might for a 10% damage increase, which is pretty damn good on this weapon. You know, 10% flat is nice, and I would take this over most other options, even things like Remote Threat, because this one just affects more stuff more often. And that's pretty much all there is for the heavy bolt rifle. Now, for the secondary option, I do take the heroic heavy bolt pistol, Retribution's Bequest. This weapon has the highest gun strike damage in the entire game, on top of a niche but incredibly potent perk effect with no help is coming. Shooting an enemy with the Elite Scream status stops from calling for reinforcements, and headshots will kill in one shot. Now, this may not sound that good initially, but when you play with it more in operations and hard strats, you start to realize that enemies call for reinforcements all the time in this game, and being able to instantaneously stop them like a Chaos Spawn or just one-shot them in the head is super damn powerful in Space Marine 2, and also helps you out with your ammo economy a ton, because in Space Marine 2, on lethal difficulty and above, enemies can go enraged, and enemies will go enraged 100% of the time pretty much when they are calling for reinforcements and are interrupted. So being able to one-shot those guys will save you not only an entire horde, but also the full HP heal of an enraged enemy, and that is pretty damn good for your ammo economy. Now, for the perk tree on this, I do go all the way down the bottom tree here with Divine Might into the perk Perpetual Penetration, Increased Capacity, Extended Magazine, and Death Strike. This one gives you a 25% damage buff for 10 seconds on a Majora's Kill or in a melee combat. This also functions for an Execute though, so keep that in mind. All you have to do to pull this off is just have your weapon equipped, melee execute an enemy, and you will have it up for 10 seconds. If you swap off your weapon for any reason, you will lose the effect, so I just want to make sure people are aware of that. Next perk here is Great Might, into the perk here Strong Start, and then I grab the perk here Able Damage. This will give you a 20% damage buff for 10 seconds every time you use a class ability, and on the heavy class, you use Iron Halo all the time, so a great synergy for him. Though I will say, if you want to, you can skip over like these bottom three here and go up top for like Discipline, into Strong Finish, into Headhunter. This can be a little bit better sometimes, so it really is up to you. Next perk here is Home Precision, up here into the perk Gunstrike Reload, and the final perk is Tactical Precision, because once again, headshot damage is like all that matters on bolters in this game currently, so definitely grab this, and that's pretty much all there is for the secondary weapon. Now, for the heavy perk tree is in desperate need of an overhaul, we do take Restoration first, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds. Now, we do have a grenade launcher on this build, so triggering this is very easy for us. And really, you take this all the time anyways, because armor restore is just way better than multi-kill and auxiliary ammunition, so definitely grab this one. Next perk here is Fortitude. Health increases by 30% for the reasons I previously mentioned. And then we grab the perk here, Overwhelming Power. When Iron Halo is active, all team members within 10 meters deal 10% more range damage. Now, this perk will simultaneously trigger with the perk over here, Brute Force, for a total of a 25% range damage increase while your Iron Halo is active, and mainly because your Iron Halo will count as in cooldown while it's in use, which means you will get the full benefit of this perk and this perk over here simultaneously, so pretty good option there. Next perk here is Additional Supplies. Ammo capacity for all team members' primary weapons increases by 25%. The main reason we take this is because it will up our total grenades on our grenade launcher here, so pretty great for that. Though you could take Encompassing Aegis if you really wanted to, for a 25% range damage reduction for your entire team. Next perk here is Consecutive Execution, killing 7 enemies in a round of session restores equipment charged by 1. The cooldown is 90 seconds. Now, a 90-second cooldown on melt-a-bombs, shock nades, cracks is great on its own, but once again, a grenade launcher makes it very easy to trigger over and over, so definitely pick this one up as well. And really, anything that breaks the pickup economy of equipment in this game is going to be a top-tier option, because equipment just solves encounters all on its own. Next perk here is Power Regulator. Iron Halo loses energy 20% more slowly. Moving here to the perk Brute Force. When Iron Halo is in cooldown, range damage increases by 15%. Now, like I said before, this will simultaneously trigger with Overwhelming Power, so definitely grab this one. And also, the perks here like Wrath of the Imperium are pretty niche, and Saving Grace just kind of sucks. The final perk I grab here is Offensive Capability. When active, Iron Halo deals damage over time to all enemies within 5 meters. This perk is just free damage pretty much. The other perks in the signature tree aren't that great anyways. Conversion Field is okay if you have a coordinated team, but for the most part, being able to walk through Bramble, walk through Spore Mines, walk through Cultists and stuff like that, it is a very good utility perk, and also just picks up free executes sometimes, so I do prefer this one overall. Now, for the prestige perks here, I do take Auxiliary Reload first. Melee kills of extremist or higher enemies restore your primary weapons ammo by 1 magazine. Now, unfortunately, this perk will not give you back any grenades on your heavy bolt rifle, which does kind of suck, but you know, ammo is ammo, and the bolter portion of this gun is also pretty ammo efficient on this class, so having this does help out quite a bit. Next perk here is Conviction. When your armor is fully depleted, you will take 25% less health damage for 10 seconds. A 25% health damage reduction in this game is very substantial, one of the best tank perks in all of Space Marine 2, so definitely grab this one. And the final 2 perks are Indomitable Spirit. While performing a gun strike, you don't lose 12 heavy hits and cannot be knocked back, because no knockback on gun strikes will save your life, especially on this build, because the heavy bolt rifle doesn't have like any no knockback effects like heavy immunity on the heavy bolter, so not having perks like this also sucks, and heavy bolt rifle really does need some form of no knockback in its build, and this perk will kind of like suit that for you. Now, the final perk I grab is Duelist. Perfect parry and perfect block windows increased by 25%, but you could really pick up whatever you want here. You pick up Duelist, Exponential Force, Reverberating Impact, or even Home Precision. They're all like kind of mid, to be honest, so it really is up to you, but that's pretty much all there is for the Prestige perk list, and all there is for this build. Hopefully, this gave you a better idea of how to build your heroic heavy bolt rifle. This weapon is pretty damn good in this game currently. I think it's a ton of fun to use. Now, unfortunately, you can't swap like any of the skins on this one, unlike the other variants, because it does have a grenade launcher attachment, so you're kind of like perma-locked to an Inquisition Deathwatch option, which is pretty good for Deathwatch RP, but not super great for non-Deathwatch RP. You know, I can live with that. But if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and if you want to catch me live and ask me questions about the game, or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description, alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always, guys, take it easy. Thanks for watching. Bye. You got one guy, kinda. Stay alert. Holy moly. Holy Jason, that's... Wait, no. What's the line? Holy born, that's Jason shit. That's, I think the prime meat shield. Yeah, Adepticon is the tabletop convention having. There's a bunch of 40k reveals coming in like 3 days. For people who are unaware.
Sanctified
What's the best version of the combat knife? It's a Power Gladius for the Argent Edge. They're both really good. Power Gladius for damage and horde clear, Argent Edge for like defense. Alright, there we go. Does heavy bolt rifle ADS count as a heavy stance now? Not as far as I know. There's also no heavy stance perks on this guy anyways, so like it would work with like one perk. That's like the big issue with this weapon. It's like it just doesn't really have the perk tree set up for a heavy class. It is fun though. Like the grenade launchers are good. It's definitely way better now of the heroic version. God. A lot of guys. Just kidding. Light. Actually, a lot of guys. All we have to do is hit him once. We failed that mission. I kind of wish we had Kraken penetrator rounds. Who would have thought? This gun feels way better when you're not unbuffed enemy hard strats. I just want to say that I love the new best X builds for Y videos. I love those. I like it helps, dude. I'll be making just a few more. Alright, let's get through this. Surely this will be easy.
Keep them off guard.
I'm so glad I got every dude weapon to max level. I can finally pick whatever you want. I'm curious, how long did that take you? Because I leveled all my gun stuff in like a different time period of the game, and like it was a bit faster. Absolute difficulty was a bit easier. We didn't have like double boss spawns and stuff like that. And I am curious now because I think it takes like around 200 hours to level up everything in this game, which is quite excessive. Quite excessive.
Advisable, but unnecessary.
It fits my view on the game so much, I'm not necessarily going to for a super best min-max build. Well, I just don't think Space Marine 2 is a game where min-maxing is like where the majority of the player base wants to be. This is not a sweaty game. And like, in fact, I think the player base for Space Marine 2 is predominantly against sweaty play styles. I think that's reflected in a lot of stuff. Because if you were to say like Chaos Spawn are like super easy and stuff like that, players will just flame you. Sorry, my mic peaked there, by the way, guys. God. Do you know Henry Cavill's still making that Amazon Warhammer show? He should be. Last they said they were still making it. Like, you know, it's been stuck in production forever, if it's even in production. But they are making it. Biovore is your most hated enemy. They are pretty toxic. I can't blame you there. Definitely cannot blame you.
Fresh cartridge. Cross the bridge. Quickly. Sightlines diminished.
Shit. Alright, we haven't had a boss spawn yet. That was like one of my only gripes with this game is that I feel like boss spawns should be guaranteed on the higher difficulties. There's no reason they shouldn't be. On the note of leveling, I love this game, but I will say I'm getting worn out at Prestige maxing 2 classes and halfway through the third. I mean, Prestige maxing does just take forever in this game. Like, a grotesque amount of time.
There is no going back, brothers.
Takes a ridiculous amount of time.
Secure terminal perimeters.
Happy Space Marine Sunday. It is indeed Space Marine Sunday. I know I wasn't live for the past 2 days. I do apologize, guys.
Obstruction detected. Removal is required to commence.
Acknowledged. Declutter complete.
How's it going with the new tech? New tech Marine decapitating stratagem perk is actually working now after the hotfix. I do think that was the last hotfix we're going to get for this game for quite some time here. I guess I could just nade spam them,
Steal your mind. Another xenophobe.
I know we can't confirm it, but I remember reading how a fan asked Adnet about it. And they said they'd wait till Pandemonium was released because it was going to shake the universe up. That makes sense, though. Like, I think the Henry Cavill show is going to be the biggest change to 40k we've had in a very long time. I feel like it's going to be, you know, that will be when 40K enters the proper mainstream, at least in terms of media. I like what is more mainstream for like a, you know, your average audience than Henry Cavill Amazon Prime show.
Keep them off guard.
Let's look at The Witcher Netflix, right? What is Adepticon? Adepticon is a 40K tabletop convention that's happening in 3 days. Where they do quite a few reveals normally. They're gonna have a whole reveal show for 40K.
Take cover.
That's a cool horde.
Reload. You failed that hope. Inserting round.
Do you know if Adepticon is going to be streaming its reveals? It should be. It's supposed to be like a full stream show. I might be streaming that as well. Froggy actually asked me to stream it for her, so we'll see. Because she's going to be busy at the actual convention with Hank and Crack.
Codex demand. Rearm. Skitters with wings.
Any tips for a new Darktide player? I would just say that game doesn't even start until you're level 30, so don't even worry about anything until you've maxed all your shit. If you aren't maxed on your stuff yet, your choices really don't matter that much.
Sending fragment.
Get shit on.
Tuning thunder.
I should take that execute now.
For the Emperor. Sanctified believers. We crush the ravenous Doomraker. Not found. Receiving snatch. Fresh magazine.
Ah, Bramble, my favorite. Fucking Bramble Armada over here. Shit. I see that one. I'll probably be floating up here. There we go. I just want to bring him down. If we get low ammo, there should be an ammo box up ahead. We pray.
Inserting rounds. Pack a little more bite. Seeking operator. Not found. Receiving snatch.
Please be an ammo cache. Damn it. I mean, we could go all the way down to the box and just spam bait. I guess we'll do that. Because we are about to be out in like 2 seconds.
Departmental Militorum Ordnance Transfer 3639 loading complete. Manifest updated.
It's like the only thing I don't like about heavy. This is another reason the heavy bolt rifle kind of blows. So like you only get 1 magazine back per auxiliary ammunition trigger versus a percentage based on the heavy weapons. There we go. So you're kind of just stuck. Look how fast he goes. Now we do this. Not that it does a lot, but Awesome.
Reload. Alien incident flagged. That silence intimidates my kitty. Unleashing frag grenade. The codex demands.
See, we get to do that. Because we have this.
Fresh cartridge.
Alright. Please let me buy my grenades. Not buy, but... I love to see it.
Reload. Keep them off guard. This galaxy's the door to the power. Fresh magazine.
Jesus. How riveting. Alright, well, whatever. Rare Neurothreat Gunstrike. Occasionally lets you do that. What do you think the progression update will be? Good, hopefully. I'm sorry, that's not a real answer. I'll give you a real answer. What do I think the progression update is going to be? I would imagine the #1 thing they're going to address is like class leveling, because as it stands, class leveling suffers far more than weapon leveling does. The prestige grind is awful. I think the prestige grind might actually be like the single worst part of this game. Now, it depends on the player as like where they stand on that. Like, do they find leveling to be content? Personally, I don't find leveling to be content. I don't find leveling up my weapons to like be considered content. I would consider that more as like something I have to do to learn the game and get to the content. Because like, how many games have you played? Like an MMO or Destiny, for example, where you grind out your weapons so you can get to the end game, the quote-unquote end game that this game really doesn't have yet. I just do that. Do you really feel like you're having content? Like, do you feel like Borderlands on your 4th playthrough to get all of your guys leveled up is fun? I don't. Maybe you do. I guess in a game like RuneScape, the grind is the content, but it's also because the game gives you more rewards for that grind, so like there's a give and take. So, like, let's say you had a title for leveling up all your characters, or like doing some ridiculously grindy thing, and like some way of showing it to the rest of the player base. That's fun. MMO's been doing that for years for a reason. Dude, what is all this bramble? Now, Saber talked about like the bramble spam recently, by the way, for those of you who are curious. They did do a director change. So maybe they'll change that again. Initially, the focus manager said that there's nothing they were aware of. They said it's not an actual patch, it was a director change. Or they think it was. So something is different this patch. And I think the reason we see so many snipers now is because of the tech marine turrets, because snipers are quite dangerous to them. And they probably didn't want players to have an easy time with their turrets on melee enemies all the time. But that's kind of dumb, in my opinion.
The codex demands. Execute that one. Let them summon in. That silence intimidates fire. Shit.
Yeah, bro, you're crazy. The whole point of Borderlands is to level up your character and grind to get better gear. I mean, grinding to get better gear at the end of Borderlands is very different than playing through Borderlands 3's campaign 7 times in a row for like 20 hours, like, you know, 10 hours each or so. 8 hours. The slog. I don't know anybody who's like super excited to get to like level, to like grind out their 8th overpowered rank in Borderlands. I mean, it is content technically.
Talassa, I have multiple swarms moving to your location. You have their attention. Deal with them swiftly.
But for me, those games, like the gear grind doesn't really start until you're max level in those games, because that's when you actually get to start to make builds. Before that, you're just learning the game. That's how I feel about it.
Looking multiple acquisition and motive engine. Route the Xenos onto the tracks. Defend the train immediately.
Hey, we can actually do this time.
Keep the boss down. The foe wants back. Deny it. Our boats shall fellow the zone folks get back.
I know we could use a train for that, but it's fun. Stratagems are kind of meh. I think this game does just need like a proper end game. I think part of that is that there's like there aren't any real rewards. Like there's some pretty easy to implement rewards they could do. Let's say, does Halo Reach really have an end game? Not really, but there are things that take like 2,000 hours to get. I think that's good for a game. Having some long-term goal. Doesn't matter how, like, you know, simple that goal actually is, I feel. Because the players who are there in your game for 2,000 hours, giving them anything means they will just go and grind it. To make it cool, you know. I feel that's the downside of cosmetic packs in games, is that we've kind of lost, like, unlockables. Or most of the unlockable items we have in games now are pretty lame. The Tyrannic War veteran stuff is kind of cool in this game, but not really as good as the chapter packs or cosmetic packs. There's that 17 cleave stomp. Oh. Trader's Thunderhammer is great for it. Not wrong. You mean they adjusted the AI director to adapt Protect Marine? That's what it feels like. Now, I'm pretty sure they adjusted it no matter what. Even Focus said something on that. But like, they didn't say it's because of Tech Marine. I just feel like it was because of Tech Marine. Because Bramble and Snipers are quite dangerous to the turrets. I wonder if they up them as a result. It also makes it so you can't camp around your turrets as easily. I do wonder. Have you seen the mass enemy despawn when using Gamma Cloak? Yes, unfortunately. That's like a bug that's been in the game since like launch. Whoops, that was not what I wanted to do. Rip that home gun, rip home gun.
Holding back now. You failed at home.
Daka. Rip that Charmer gun. Or Horma gun. I guess we'll go do this.
Offering prayer
what I'm saying, there's so many snipers now, guys.
Guide the station to
Yeah, favorite heroic, probably the heroic bolt sniper. This one's also really fun. I just don't know if I love it on this class as much.
Pack a little more bite.
Heavy Stomp is like genuinely ludicrous at killing all of these guys. So good.
deploy immediately. Underway.
Crush the ravenous brood beneath our
There we go.
Outbound.
Oh shit. Only one boss, huh?
Detonation in 5. Brace for shockwave.
What non-heroic firearm do you want to be added next? I prefer an Astartes shotgun. Non-heroic firearm, Stormbolter. That's an easy answer, Stormbolter. Stormbolter every time.